We are just over 200 days into Black Ops 4 at this point, and in that time, we've seen the game undergo a lot of updates and changes, altering how major and minor aspects and elements of the game function. From the black market being introduced, to weapon metas changing back and forth, and everything in between, nearly everything in BO4 has been adjusted at one point or another. And now, over halfway through the life cycle of Black Ops 4, I figured it's time I sit down and take a look at the game and really dissect it and take away what exactly Treyarch has done right and what Treyarch has done wrong with the game so far. What's up guys, Zacher Immortal here, welcome back to the channel and thanks for stopping by. If you are new here, we are on the road to 45,000 subscribers, and with that, if you enjoy the content and want to stay up to date with the latest Black Ops 4 news and intel, feel free to hit that sub button and turn your post notifications on. That way you'll always know when a new video gets uploaded. And of course, if you enjoyed this video, let me know by dropping a like rating on it, as it would be much appreciated. And now, let's get into what exactly Treyarch has done right and done wrong with Black Ops 4 so far. For starters, I want to preface this entire conversation that's about to ensue by saying this video is going to be heavily opinionated. I mean, after all, this is all of my thoughts and feelings after playing the game on a near daily basis ever since it launched back in October of last year. So it is very possible that I have some different thoughts and opinions than some of you, which is totally cool. If you feel differently, let me know down in the comments below, as I am certainly curious about what everyone else thinks the pros and cons of this game are so far. And also, you'll notice I put a lot of emphasis on so far, as this game still does have a lot of time left before Call of Duty 2019 releases this fall. So a lot could change in that time, and some of my cons could change to pros, and some of my pros could change to cons. Really, only time will tell there. Anyways, let's get into the meat and potatoes of the video, and we'll start things off on a positive note with something that I think Treyarch did really well this year, and that is the implementation of a self-heal or manual healing system. In the past with Call of Duty, obviously if you got shot, your screen would go red and you would have to wait a few seconds for your health regeneration to kick in before you started making your way back to 100 health. This year though, even if you take 1 or 2 damage or 149 damage, you can immediately initialize the healing process through your stim shot or your regular self-heal, which I personally love. To me, manual healing speeds up the flow of the game and allows players who want to play aggressive to play way more aggressively. At the same time, it also means you don't have to sit and wait for your health regen to kick in like in the past, where if you did end up taking shots, you'd have to effectively back out of a gunfight, wait a few seconds for health regen to start, then heal up, and then jump back into the gunfight. Whereas now, you can take some shots, initiate your heal, and jump right back into action in a much shorter time, ultimately making the game feel a lot more fast-paced, even though we're only in a 5 versus 5 scenario in the majority of the game modes. On the contrary, the first thing that I think Treyarch did wrong this year was allowing specialists to be earned over time and not through accumulating score. This to me is a major handout to players of all skill levels, but it's only something that heavily benefits the lesser skilled players. A great player is going to earn their specialist regardless of time or score due to them being consistently good at the game. Lil Timmy though, sitting in the back of the map, who might be AFK half of the game getting a fresh bag of Cheetos, could come back and have his dog or his ice pick or whatever else handed to him even though he did nothing. League play though, I feel like currently has it right, where specialists are earned through your score and not through time. So, unless you're actively playing the objective or slaying out, earning your specialist weapon or ability is going to be a lot harder, but also a lot more rewarding for those better players. Another positive thing that I think Treyarch did do right this year is Blackout. This is a mode that I absolutely love, and while it might have taken away from some of the potential over in multiplayer and zombies due to it being a from-scratch addition to the game, I think when it comes down to a classic Battle Royale game, Blackout does it the best. Far better than H1Z1, PUBG, or even Battlefield. The game feels fresh, the map is fun, the replayability is certainly there, and with the addition of Alcatraz, I can say wholeheartedly Blackout is by far my current favorite mode in Black Ops 4, and has taken up most of my time in the past few months since I have completed a lot of what I set out to do in multiplayer already with Dark Matter, Prestige Master, etc. etc. I am certainly curious to see what happens to Blackout when Call of Duty 2019 rolls around, but for the time being, it is definitely a mode that I am incredibly invested in. Back on the other side of the spectrum, a second negative thing that I feel like Treyarch missed their mark on this year is the grind factor across all modes. Now, I haven't dabbled too much in zombies this year, so I can't speak a ton about that, but as far as earning content by playing and not purchasing, our options are pretty limited this time around. In multiplayer, we've got Dark Matter, Master Prestige, and 100% completion to grind out. In Blackout, we've got Prestiging, Dark Matter, and 100% completion to grind out, and same deal for zombies. But outside of those three pretty basic things, our grind factor comes to a halt. There is no hero gear like in Black Ops 3, there is no contracts or weekly challenges. Really, there isn't a whole lot of things encouraging you to go out of your way to try new weapons, playstyles, game modes, so on and so forth, aside from Dark Matter and 100% completion. We also don't have any way of guaranteeing ourselves weapons from reserves besides RNG and straight up luck, and the Prestige Master rewards across all modes really don't feel that rewarding for the vast majority of players. That said, the addition of new camos or mastercrafts for hitting a certain prestige or level, and contracts rewarding you with COD points or dupe protected reserve cases would be a huge leap forward in terms of replayability, and honestly, those additions would definitely swing my thoughts on the replayability of this game to a much more positive light than where I stand currently. The third thing that I think Treyarch did right with Black Ops 4 is the core gameplay. Specialist aside, I absolutely love how Black Ops 4 plays. The maps, the flow of the game, and the overall gunplay feels amazing to me, and this Call of Duty, more so than in recent years, I found myself playing day in and day out because I genuinely find it fun. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm definitely not dying too off of a nuke to a mesh mine saying, ah dang, I'll get him next time. No, there is definitely some rage there that is brought out while playing, but at the end of the day, Black Ops 4 feels really good in its natural state. Unfortunately, Barebones has kind of turned into either FaZe Clan tryouts or CWL qualifiers every time I try to play it, but when I do hop on a Black Ops 4 to play every day, I find myself generally having a good time most of the time due to how the game plays out. I feel like the weapons feel pretty good in this game, the maps, for the most part, play great and look incredible, which, while on that note, even if you don't like the weather variant maps, I think they all physically look great. Except for Arsenal Sandstorm, since that map, if I were to try and see how it looks physically, I'd get sand in my eyes. My bad jokes aside, Black Ops 4 feels like a great game, it plays like a great game, the core gameplay I think is fantastic, once again, Specialist aside. Finally, and to wrap things up, another thing I feel like Treyarch did wrong with this game comes down to the filler content that seems to overwhelm some of the most common areas of the game, that being the reserves and the contraband tiers. This is a first-person shooter, obviously. What we can see in-game is pretty limited to camos, our players' hands, and other players' outfits. Seldom do stickers, calling cards, sprays, and, at least in multiplayer, gestures come into play or even stand out. However, the items that stand out the least are the items you find the most in tiers and in the reserves. Camos, weapons, Mark II variants, and Blackout characters all feel very, very rare when compared to the stickers and sprays and calling cards and whatnot, and honestly, I feel like knowing most of my in-game grinding is going to be rewarded with a sticker I'll probably never think twice about, or a gesture I'll only ever use once in a while, is a little bit discouraging. On the other hand, unlocking a cool new camo or a Mark II variant is something that I always look forward to, I just wish it happened more. It doesn't help when a lot of the filler content we have is then also spread out even more through individual weapon unlocks, and in short, the black market content has so much potential that unfortunately to me is wasted on some of the more low value items. Now, don't get me wrong, I really do appreciate the work that goes into the creation of the stickers and the calling cards and all of that stuff, and I definitely do not want to ever discredit the creators of those items because those people are 10 times more creative than I am, but in a game like Call of Duty, that content doesn't necessarily feel as welcomed as camos and weapons and things of that nature. With that said though, that is what I feel Treyarch has done right and done wrong in Black Ops 4 up until this point. Feel free to let me know your thoughts on the topic down in the comments below, and of course if you enjoyed the video, let me know by dropping a like rating on it, as it would be much appreciated. Lastly, if you are brand new here to the channel and you like what you see, feel free to hit that sub button and turn on your post notifications. That way you'll always know when a new video goes live. Once again, thank you guys so much for tuning in, and until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.